GearNetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
So, Fat Man.
So sleazy.
Holy shit. Are you still hungover?
From the one drink and one shot I had, yeah, I'm so hungover.
Well, I'm hungover on wrestling. I don't know about liquor.
So hungover.
Well, let's talk about that on the wrestling show. Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
Apparently, he's hungover, and I'm the Fat Man.
And welcome, everyone, to another wonderful episode. I just stepped on. Today, usually on location, Chip is not with us, unfortunately. He will be on...
He died.
I hope not.
Right kid died.
Right kid. Wow. Jesus Christ. He'll be on the second episode. This is going to be a special 2-part episode. But guess who is here? The man that claims wrestling is not dead. Ryan Williams is here today.
Hi, I've also adopted this Fed shill persona. I love it. I love it. Reddit has turned me to realize that I'm a Fed shill, and I just love WWE, so that's what you're getting now.
Excellent. I love it.
I understand other wrestling exists, and I can like it, but no, WWE number one. Everybody else, hot tui.
Dub bad.
No, yeah, dub
So
bad.
the people who bitch about WWE on Reddit still watch WWE.
I know, it's so funny.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
And they bitch about it, and they're like, AEW's gonna... I saw something on some Facebook page where they're like, oh, when AEW buys WWE in 3 years, I'm like, you are joking, right? That you have to be joking. He's like, no, I'm dead serious. Tony Khan's going to buy WWE. I'm like, yeah, I can't take you seriously anymore. I couldn't take you seriously to begin with, but now you just embarrass yourself to a whole nother level.
They don't have enough money. Ever. I mean,
wait, who don't have enough money?
Cons.
Yeah, okay.
Well, let me put it this way. They would not purchase that company the way from the sheer net worth of the value of the company right now and not put themselves in a significant financial, you know what I mean? It's not like they wouldn't, like, oh my God, they'd be in the poorhouse because they don't have enough money. But from a financial wealth perspective, it doesn't make any sense.
Really would be out of business.
Right. But yeah, that's kind of the point. But you know how this goes.
Let's talk about a show that apparently only had 60,000 people total for the 2 nights.
No. Get it right. It was 77,890.
Night one.
That's night one. I said the total for both nights.
Well, in that case, that's probably closer to an AEW show.
And there's another thing too. Like they did 78 and 77 respectively for the 2 nights, and people are like, they couldn't even sell it out. It's like that's a normal WrestleMania size crowd.
Yeah,
right? Like, what a shitty crowd. They only got 78,000
Yeah, fuck you guys, right?
Well, 4 years ago or 6 years ago when they were there, they did 100,000 people, and now it's only 77. They're going downhill.
So I want to point out that even if you go by the quote unquote real numbers, which are like 65-ish.
No, it was more than that.
That's the Meltzer claim. So take it with a grain.
Meltzer doesn't know his ass from
I
his
know
ass.
that's not my point. Even if you go with Meltzer's fucked up numbers, about 65 each, they actually sold more tickets. They've sold 30,000 more tickets.
Math hurts people because
it does.
Facts don't give a fuck about your feelings.
And I guarantee you, price per ticket average was a lot higher than it was 6 years ago.
Well, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So, in terms of financials, it was a huge success. Everyone knows it was a huge success. Somebody's got to get buried. Let's do some burying. Fat Man, that was your cue to start
Talking.
The pre-show matches, right?
We're talking about Asian.
Fuck you.
There was no pre-show matches.
I know that.
It opens.
Did you watch the? Did you watch the pre?
matches.
Hang on. Did you watch the pre-show?
I was too busy beating your ass.
That might have actually happened. Ryan, did you watch the pre-show at all?
It was on one TV as another TV was playing some of the indie-rific stuff that happened during the weekend. So I was paying attention, but not paying attention to the pre-show.
So if you paid attention to the pre-show on both night 1 and night 2,
hold on, stop. Now, hold on. Are you admitting you watched the product? Like, this is new to me.
I know, right? I was kind of forced into it on night 1 because it was there and I couldn't like look away. If I had look away, I probably would have won more money in poker than I did. That being said,
wait.
I focused on the game, so therefore I lost.
Wait. Hold on a second.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Won more money at poker than you did.
Yes, because
So
I did
how
win
negative-
money.
How negative did you lose?
It was only about $10 to $12.
It was way more than that.
Actually, no, it wasn't. I only
Lindsay
bought in
walked
twice
away-
for $8, and then I bought Michael.
Oh, I
in for
forgot
$4.
there was more people that showed up later.
Yeah, I didn't buy in for all that.
I still beat you. So
Whoa.
anyway,
WrestleMania.
And now we're off the air because we've been DMCA'd.
SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
Where was
Because I
it?
love tag matches, dog.
Fuck me,
The Usos defending against some Asian and Rick Boogs.
Rick.
Say his name right. Is Rick Boom.
I did say his name right. You saying Boogs? I'm saying Boogs. It's the same. I'm saying it right. I'm pronouncing it right.
Fat man doesn't watch the product. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Ha! So did you watch Raw last night?
I did not.
Okay.
I don't think you did either.
I sure did. 6 minutes. and
You
55
lying sack of shit.
I did. I watched Raw last night.
You lying sack of shit.
Why?
I guarantee you watched the NCAA finals.
I did not because Duke wasn't in it.
You mean to tell me you don't watch basketball if Duke's not in it?
Now when North Carolina beat in that title game, fuck no, I wasn't. Now when they beat Duke, I wasn't. I told you I wasn't going to watch it.
Even your fucking stupid team who got beat by a shitty team.
See, he doesn't watch sports, so
I don't.
can't.
I can't even.
So when he's talk shit, I just ignore him because he doesn't really know what he's talking about.
So why did you care if I watched Raw or not?
Because you're telling me that I didn't watch the product, and I asked you if you watched Raw, and you said no, and I did.
No, of
therefore,
course.
I watched the product.
Yeah, only I can bitch about you dickheads not watching the product because I actually watched the product.
Yeah.
6 minutes 55 seconds. Obviously, Meltzer's star ratings aren't out yet. Meltzer's star ratings are out yet, but he knows what the attendance.
Well, you also know how AJ Styles got hurt.
Right.
We'll talk about that later.
John gave it 2 stars. I mean, I agree, but it's only really because the match was cut short because of Boog's injury. Feel sad for him. You know.
Okay, so here's my big question out of it. I'm obviously I give it the same rating as you because of exactly the same reason. But did they call the audible and leave the titles on Usos?
No, I think Usos were going to win.
You think they're always going to win?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I think they called the audible and left it on the Usos. I thought they were going to put the titles on them. Obviously, that was part of our preview anyway, but I think they called an audible last second.
Can you imagine? Like what you're saying is real. Like that the boys were supposed to win the tag belts, and they're just like, oh no, second. Like because normally people get injured in matches, and they still put the tag belts on them.
Right, they still put the titles on. Yeah, so.
And then deal with it after the fact, right?
Right. I think it would, if they knew Boogs was that injured immediately, I wouldn't throw the titles on him personally, but you know, that's just how it is. But it's honestly the worst possible thing happened there. And that was Boogs getting injured because he had a huge upside. He was still relatively new. He was fresh. He was getting over,
But he's not going to stop getting injured or not. If he, and I'll make it sound bad. If he only hurt his fucking leg, mainly he plays the fucking guitar. He still has that side. Like this doesn't hurt him exposure wise, like an injury would normally hurt somebody, because he can still play a fucking guitar.
That's fair. That is fair. And if you keep him on TV, just in a non-wrestling capacity, that's great. I guess my point is that divorcing him from Nakamura is going to be harder, at least for the time being, because he can't be a singles competitor. So
yeah, we know Nakamura can't be. Ryan, what do you think of the match?
It had promise until that ugly spot, and I like Boogs anyways. I like the character and his team of Nakamura and the little vignettes, them going out in the woods, trying to become like tougher to build for the match and stuff was great leading up to it. But I still say the Usos need to hold those tag team titles till they beat Gallows' record in NXT UK. So there's one clear best tag team longest title reign, and it's the Usos.
that's fair. That's fair.
Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin, 8 minutes, 35 seconds. Ken gave us 3 stars. Ryan.
Absolutely perfect for what it was, and one of the most protected finishers in the history of WWE has fallen, and that blows my mind.
I was surprised.
Go ahead. Yep.
I was surprised that they had him kick out of it. Yo, dog, fuck your finish. I'm gonna pin you with mine.
The theme of the
WrestleMania.
and the weekend.
Yeah, really. Not just WrestleMania.
I gave it 2 3/4. I thought it wasn't bad. Wrong kid died.
I will agree with that.
I thought
I thought that too,
especially with McIntyre getting his sword back the day before. I'm thinking, oh, Corbin has to go. There's no reason for. And then he said some stuff about his mom or something, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
So and this is assuming what's going to happen on SmackDown Friday / tomorrow / in 3 days, and however the fuck this works. The chitter chatter around is that Drew is the first person in line for Reigns. While you can't, Drew losing to Corbin at WrestleMania does not put him the next in line for Reigns.
Once again, I'm going to be saying this a lot. That's fair. I don't think they're going to. Well, I can't even say that because I just don't want to see it. But it is.
Is that journalism sleazy?
Right? Isn't that the greatest journalism? I don't fucking want to see it. I don't give a shit. So therefore, it's not going to happen. No, well, it's going to happen Backlash, and we're going to be there live. So I don't want to see it.
You're seeing Reigns and Lesnar live.
Yeah. Well, yes. Oh, well. Shit. God damn it. I've already seen that.
Yep.
It wasn't even good. It's stupid. I believe there was a beach ball I was more in tune with at that point. Match 2.5.
So it was an okay match for a house show.
It did what it was supposed to do.
Yo, dog, I heard you like tag team matches.
I fucking do.
Ray and Dominic Mysterio versus The Miz and Sleazy's favoriteest person in the world, Logan Paul.
So
11
I called it.
15 seconds. Canton gave it 3 1/4.
I called it. What'd I say? What'd I fucking say?
I'll give you your moments.
Thank you. Put me over once. Bury me the rest of the fucking show. Might as well, right?
Called Ghostbusters. Ah! There's a mark that showed up.
Oh shit! Chip's here. We gotta go to break. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you a gentleman that is finally made it here after I don't even know how long. He is
2.5 hours.
He is the certified M to the Izark. Ladies and gentlemen, Chip Willett is here.
Sleazy, I'm so disappointed.
Hey guys, how's it going?
The Waffle House connoisseur, Chip Willett.
I was going to do that for this. You fucking asshole. I was planning that for the second episode.
Oh, stealing gimmicks. You're a
douche canoe,
man.
I do what I want. How many times you got to say? Okay, Chip, quick. SmackDown Tag Team title match. What'd you think?
That was, refresh my memory who that was.
Usos versus Nakamura.
I don't even know.
Sorry for Boogs. I think they should have gone over, but I think the injury to Boogs stopped that from happening. So I give it, and when the injury kind of ended that match abruptly, so 2.5 stars.
McIntyre versus Corbin.
2 stars.
All right. So, okay, now we're on the match we're talking about. Mysterio's versus Miz and Logan Paul.
And everyone's supposed to be putting me over right now.
Ooh.
Ryan, I don't want to put Sleazy over. Go ahead.
Fuck.
Somebody told me this weekend, and I couldn't not prove them wrong. Has a celebrity ever lost a match at WrestleMania?
Sleazy and I were thinking the same thing on night 2.
Couldn't find one, could you?
Nope.
No.
The only one that ever came to mind obviously was Pat, but technically that wasn't a WrestleMania. So
when it came to Royal Rumble, you had Drew Carey and a couple other people, but that was still Royal Rumble, wasn't a Mania.
right, it wasn't a Mania.
Yeah.
Nobody who was even going all the way back to Lawrence Taylor. Not a single celebrity has ever lost that had a match in WrestleMania. There you go.
Well, can I let you all know how impressed I was at how good Logan Paul looked?
Fuck that asshole.
I mean, I'm not a fan of him, but I thought he executed every move he did to perfection. And with them only having a minimal amount of training, I was highly impressed.
Well, I agree.
The dirt sheets are going forward. He's going to be on the show as a babyface.
Yep. It's
Probably
in
because
his contract that he has to be a baby.
So, fuck it. It's in Cody's contract. He come back as a babyface. Nobody give a fuck about that.
Fuck that.
Okay,
dude.
outside of you hate him. What's your opinion on
I
that?
thought he did an amazing job. I
Yep.
think he did a great job, not just with move execution, but outright selling, working
And
the crowd,
storytelling.
everything. Absolutely
it was
wonderful.
really good.
If you watch some of the pre-show reels that he did with a crowd outside, absolutely wonderful. Still a piece of shit.
Fair.
I gave it 3
I agree.
stars.
Yeah, 3 stars as well.
Really impressed. He really impressed me. Miz turning on him was weird, but okay. But
Nah, I mean, if you watch the product, Miz being a piece of shit and turning on tag partners is kind of something he does.
He does.
Spotlight from him, like
I
You don't want
mean,
it to come to
you
another-
do that with the best in the world, Shane McMahon.
he got turned
You
on
do it
him
with
because
John-
it's a fucking McMahon.
say it to my face.
Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch defends against Bianca Belair. 19 minutes and 10 seconds. Can't give this 4 1/4. Sleazy, you're the women's wrestling enthusiast.
It was the best women's match of the 2 nights, without question.
So out of the 3 women's matches, this was the best.
By far. Not even close. I
I
thought,
agree.
What a shiner.
yeah, after the fact, yeah. The match itself was decently done.
English hard.
English is hard, especially with this match, because I'm having a hard time putting into words how it was good, but not really. Because
Why?
It was a little sloppy at times.
yeah, what's that?
I was going to say, here's the thing. And so night 1, obviously I had people over. Sleazy was one of them. And for about 90% of the show, I was either talking or watching the Duke game.
Right.
So I rewatched night 1 the next morning. And what Sleazy is going to say on these matches was what I also thought until I rewatched it and paid attention.
I'm gonna say this, and you know me, and I've done this many times on the podcast. One watch Charlie over here. Yep. I need to have the live reaction. That's it. I can't go back and watch it, because then all sorts of weird shit happens.
He enjoys it more. I'm sorry.
No, it's not that. It's the fact that a lot of times, the mood hits me different. You know, sitting down and watching it live, there's a little bit of expectation of you need to pull me into your product. You know, whereas when I'm sitting there watching it for our show, like we're going to probably end up doing for some of the indie shows we might be covering later on, it tends to make a weird, imbalance in what I'm trying to think. I'm doing it for the work, not doing it for the fun of it. Does that make any sense? Like if you enjoy something as a hobby, it's a little bit different than if you're doing that same hobby as your main
You consider an
job.
assignment. You consider an assignment.
Yeah.
So you want to have a
Yeah. And there's a lot of times like that where wrestling can do that to me. So when I do these live, reactions almost, it makes me feel a lot better because it gives me that moment to say, hey, this is how I feel about it in the moment. And every single time I really focused on the match, they were botching something or something was just sloppy. So that being said, it was still a good match. It was well paced. It just wasn't as good as I thought it was could have been. So that being said, I gave it 3 3/4 stars. So couldn't have been that bad.
Right?
Right?
Oh,
I
this
gave
is
it the
bad.
same
This
rating.
is bad. This was bad. It was almost 4 stars. Fuck
Well,
you.
I didn't say
star rating.
it was
The
a little bit.
Match was meth, 4 stars. I gave it the same rating you did. I thought it was fucking great.
There you go. Classic Sleazy and the Fat Man right there.
I didn't like the
Fucking
finish.
idiots.
I didn't like the finish because Belair took, a finisher within 30 seconds. Obviously, that's a callback to SummerSlam. That's fine. Understandable. Then she took a manhandle slam on the steps and then wins the title like 90 seconds later, and then it's dancing.
Yo, dog, I'm going to kick out your finisher and pin you with mine.
Like, I'm just like, you took a finish on the steps.
Can I get me a damn it, D'Lo?
You should not be dancing after winning that title. That was one of my only.
And that's not a big beat for you either. Fuck that. Like,
So it was great. Chippers.
3 3/4. I mean, for the same reason you all said, there was some sloppy parts I couldn't get past. At first, I thought that her eyelash fell off, and then there was just her eye being swollen, and then it was a hell of a shiner
They're
eye.
right in the fucking face.
Yeah, I know. And man, when that came across and she hit the double tap right in the face, I'm like, oh, that's going to leave a mark. And it did. But yeah, 3 3/4. Definitely the best women's match of the weekend.
Ryan.
boss, there's not really much else I can say because you all covered it. I'll go so far as to enjoy where it's going to go now forward. I mean, it seems like you're going to get your Oblivious rematch at WrestleMania Backlash between the two of them, and they'll have another great little match, and Belair will go over again, boss. Where do the two of them go now?
I feel like that they're going to do hair versus hair.
At WrestleMania Backlash?
Yeah.
My wife would be so happy about that. She's the whole time watching the match. She's like, "Give me a pair of fucking scissors. I'm cutting the damn hair off."
Well, no, because Sleazy said it, so it's not going to happen.
Right?
Damn it.
Hell in the Cell. They'll probably have a Hell in the Cell match.
And Backlash?
Hell in the Cell is the pay-per-view after.
Oh, so
they'll do
for the rubber match.
Yep, and then they'll do, not a rubber match. There'll probably be some funky finish, like a DQ or something at WrestleMania Backlash.
It technically will be a rubber match.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh, at WrestleMania Backlash. It would.
Yeah.
No. Isn't it only two, isn't the series 2-1 for Becky now? Instead of 2-0 for Becky?
It's
Oh yeah, no. Rubber match is 3, so 1-1 right
It's
now.
1-1.
Right. So the rubber match
Actually,
would
one of
actually be
the
a
It would
Backlash.
be, it
Belair
would be
won it.
Backlash.
Didn't Becky? That's what I'm forgetting. I thought Becky and Belair fought another match. They did.
Oh, I don't know.
Did they?
On Raw? You talking about the one on Raw?
They almost certainly hit.
On Raw on the pay-per-views. I will go double check
Okay,
my
look,
facts here.
no.
Fuck
We're
your
not-
journalism. I'll pin you with mine.
Right. But yeah. Anyway, then they'll have some funky finish at WrestleMania Backlash, and then they'll have a Hell in a Cell match, and then Money in the Banks after that, and blah blah blah. Okay, so we have Seth Rollins versus Vacant.
Question mark.
So I recorded Sleazy's reaction to who his opponent was going to be. I uploaded it to our Facebook, and not only would it not load because LOL WWE, I had a TV right next to the other one with the NCAA Final Four on, and they're like, "Oh,
So copyright.
so
Like,
it wouldn't-
double fuck you.
so it didn't load." Sleazy, it wasn't Cody Rhodes, right?
Fucking goddamn
You can't
fucking
say
right.
that.
Yes, I
You
am.
said
I
no.
can still say
You-
that. I
No,
can
you can't.
absolutely fucking say that. Go fuck yourself, you fucking marks. Just because Cody Rhodes came back doesn't mean you aren't all a fucking bunch of marks.
You
He's right.
said. Well,
Thank
he
you,
said.
sir.
He said, I still have the video, but I can't post it. That he says if Cody Rhodes doesn't come out, y'all a bunch of marks.
Yep.
If Cody Rhodes comes out, I can't call anyone marks.
I did not say that.
Bullshit.
I
On
said the
video.
first part. I did not say the second
Bullshit.
part.
It's on video.
Yeah, go ahead and watch it. I know
And
what I said.
I can watch it.
And if you
Yes, go ahead, watch it. Yeah, I know what I said.
and if you watch the
Apparently
product,
you
you will
don't.
see one hell of a welcome back or opening speech of last night's Raw by Cody.
It was the same fucking speech he made in AEW when he came.
Nah, because it was different. Because he's going to do what his daddy didn't do.
That's true. That's fair.
Fuck white bitches.
Wow.
First off, if my fact checking, if Bianca Belair and Becky wrestle again at the next pay-per-view and Belair wins, that ties them at 2 apiece.
Okay.
And
so it's going to Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, I watched. The easiest way I can explain that was the purest example of somebody coming home. Cody came home Saturday night. No matter what, like where you left, where you go, that was that. Like he left, he went, he did Drew McIntyre's gimmick, but the difference is his last name is fucking Rhodes. So like
that's fair.
That's exactly what they said on the Busted Open podcast. I was listening to it on my walk home. That's what Bully Ray was pointing out, how he did McIntyre, he did a Mahal, but Rhodes is his name.
Yeah.
And that name is synonymous with WWF/E.
If he doesn't win Money in the Bank, I'll be shocked.
Okay.
So,
wait a second. I kind of take a little bit of exception.
Because we talked about this the other night too.
Yeah. Well, number one, when I think of Dusty Rhodes, I don't think WWF. I think
NXT.
I think, well, NXT, yes. Also NWA.
NWA. Yeah.
So, I mean, now, honestly, he's already done the NWA shit already. That's done and over with. He got that out of his system.
And this sounds like you didn't watch the fucking promo that appeared Monday night.
I did. I actually did. I went back and watched it because I was curious. But I guess we talked for a good 20 minutes after this was part of the reason why the next match probably wasn't all that well watched, honestly. But my biggest point out of all of this was why? Why come back? He spent years going, they're not going to take me back. That was it. I said so much shit to them, they'll never take me back.
He found himself in the Indies.
Oh, shit. He left. He knew exactly what he was fucking doing when he left, and Vince knew what he was doing when he left.
Well, I'm not going to fully say that, but I will say that he found himself in the Indies, and then he was able to get with the Young Bucks, and didn't really change his image or anything. Still wore the suit, still dressed nice, and still kept Cody Rhodes, but he learned how to go to the business side of it, and Vince knows that can help in the long run. That's my view.
He left.
That's not true.
Out there, they took away his last name. Vince was like, go get over with just your first name. And what did he do? So by the time he comes back, like it's...
Now, don't forget, on the handful of actual indie dates he worked, one of them was Excite Wrestling. Which
you got to put that over.
I have to, because it's actually relevant to that. Because he talked about it all the time. All throughout that night, he talked about WWE. And everything about it was, they'll never take me back. I said so much shit about that even then. I'm here to make my own name on my own terms, on my own thing. And he was always wearing suits, for one. And number two, he absolutely was already a businessman. There is no doubt about that. That man knew everything he needed to know about the business to work the indies, to work another huge company, to create a new company, everything. He already knew that. I think what happened was, and as we talked it through, I kind of was starting to put two and two together and thinking there's no way he would have left AEW unless they had a difference of opinion. And you start looking at the interviews that were released right afterwards. You listen to like Variety had an interview that was dropped. Was it Busted Open Radio they did an actual interview with? I can't remember all the, because he did like a huge media blitz that was ready to go as soon as he debuted. So there was like 8 or 9 fucking interviews out there.
Yeah, Bully said that on the Busted Open podcast, said that there was either a difference in the direction they wanted the company to go. Like maybe he wanted older, more modern names to come in, and Tony wanted younger names, and they decided to be at ends at that.
There's a lot of talk there. It boils down to one thing. There's a bunch of guys in AEW that are passionate for professional wrestling more than getting paid, and Cody Rhodes is a business. And that's why, because you listen to every single podcast. That was the big piece. And the second piece was, I've got a kid. I need more money. Simple as that. As much as I didn't want to admit it, it was as simple as that. He just wanted more money.
And I'm over here like, and you're like, no, he has God's money, Bubba. I'm just like, so?
I still believe that, but sometimes you just want more.
No, and there again, like I said, the Young Bucks and Kenny, they're all, like you said, about passion. Cody's about business. Cody probably wanted to do things a little differently in AEW to try to maybe grow the audience, make the product bigger, make the product more money. And they're just like, no, this is the vision of what we see as in wrestling. And it doesn't really matter what the business is, even though it is a wrestling business. So, and that's what I said when he debuted. Then I think I said that, right? That night?
Yeah.
Was all like, yeah. So, but anyway, let's talk about the match.
Fantastic.
Absolutely fantastic. 100%
Cody's
agreed.
Best match since his match with his brother at the first AEW show, without question.
So funny statistic, I guess you'd say. And Ryan loves these types of statistics.
You know I do.
So AEW's first 5-star match was Cody and his brother. The last 5-star match, supposedly, now I'm pretty sure this is the case. I have to double check it. The last 5-star match also featured Cody in AEW. Yeah. According to Fuck Dave Meltzer. So.
What match was that?
I don't know.
The dog collar?
I think it was the dog collar match.
That was not a 5-star. That wasn't that was a good match. It was not 5, in my opinion. Anyway, 4.5 stars. It was fucking great.
If only for the fact of the fucking nostalgia and how awesome the main event was that way. Like, I want to say the main event is match of the night. This one technically is, but in my heart, it's the other one.
This is match of the night.
Yeah, but in my heart, it's the other one.
I know, but this is match of the night. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And my thing is that it was great storytelling from beginning to end. It started out slow, and then it increased and got better as the time went on throughout the match. Definitely match of the night for me too.
I'm a fan of the little things, and when the commentary goes, well, this is intriguing. It's one of Dusty's kids from NXT versus his legitimate son. I was like, yes, sell it, baby. Oh.
And just to confirm it, that is correct. The last 5-star match they had was Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara, the ladder match.
Oh yeah, the ladder match.
And then I like how he called back to like getting rid of Stardust, the cartwheel, and then hit the Stardust look.
Yep.
And then he probably does a Stardust taunt.
He does the cartwheel, he does the hand thing, and he shrugs it off. And Corey Graves immediately goes. Somebody makes a comment. He's like, "That's not showboating. That's shedding the skin of a past life."
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
He is. Corey
it was wonderful.
Is just out of his mind when it comes to that stuff.
So, and now I'm going to say this. Where do we go from here? This was a gimme.
Watch the product.
Yeah. Welcome home.
Fat man, fuck you. Where do we go?
It's wait and see. We're like,
fuck you. We've done wait and see so many fucking times.
No.
And Roman's still champion.
It was been wait and see before the fucking internet. Let's wait and see what the hell happens.
Yeah.
Now, us fucking smarkish fucking smarky smarks.
Okay.
The bunch
there's 4 wrestling journalists here. What do we think?
Yeah, he's asking.
That's my point.
He's not being a dickhead. He's legit asking for opinion.
He literally, like, all fucking Saturday and Sunday. Well, what's next?
What's next? Like, what do we? Well, that's my point. Is I don't know. Where do you go from here?
Which is great. You don't know.
No. I've already pitched something. What's next? And you
said Money in the Bank
it immediately
because it should be Kevin Owens because he did yeoman's work.
It's too early for Cody to go at it right now.
No, why not?
It's not too early.
There's fucking
Kevin
no
Owens
faces.
Money in the Bank.
Kevin Owens should be winning Money in the Bank.
He's 100%. Also a heel.
So what does having a heel have to do with winning Money in the Bank?
The Miz has won it so many times.
Miz won it. He won it once and then
he stole it a couple of times. But
Edge won the first one as a heel.
Yeah, and who is champion?
Doesn't matter who the champion is.
Yes, it does.
A face can cash in on a face. That's happened before.
That's not the same as a heel cashing in on a heel. And you know it. Especially when it's Roman.
Well, who says it's going to be Roman?
It is absolutely going to be Roman.
Who says?
Because there's no way Jay Briscoe is winning the Ring of Honor championship, and there's no fucking way that Roman Reigns is losing in a fair wrestling match.
Here's the thing. Say you have a babyface who somehow beats Roman, just randomly beats Roman Reigns. The first person in 10,000 years to beat Roman Reigns. How big of a heel would Kevin Owens be cashing in on that one fucking guy right away?
I love that just as much as I love Cody winning the Money in the Bank itself, because I think in that situation, it needs to be Cody.
Beating Roman and then getting cashed in on?
Then Owen,
yes.
Oh, yes.
That would be bad.
Yep.
That would be really good.
Right? And like, because I love fantasy booking too, you know that shit. That would be so... I'd even do it the same night.
Yep.
But realistically here, Roman Reigns is going to be World Heavyweight Champion until WrestleMania. He's probably not going to have both of them, but he's going to be a World Champion until WrestleMania 39.
Do you believe that they're going to split the belts back?
No, obviously. They're either splitting them or making a new one, but you want Fox and USA and one of them without a World Champ share. No, it's not going to work.
Nope.
I agree.
That's not a Raw versus SmackDown inside. Like, that's a legit two TV companies. No, but not a chance.
Yep.
They're going to have one. Either
they want Roman on both shows, and this is how they do it.
Yeah, but they're going to want Roman on both shows. But where do you stop? Once you start with one, it's like, okay, well, we want both of these. Like,
no, I understand. I get
you. I would rather somebody win the Money in the Bank and pop one of the belts off Roman when he, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's going to see now, are they defended as one because they're calling it the Unified Universal and however they're naming it. And it's WWE, so we can switch it at any moment.
Or,
yes,
Dusty Rhodes, big gold belt, bring the big gold belt back. Have Cody win that.
No,
the secondary championship.
No, because it's not the WWE title.
Okay, got you.
Okay. I agree with that.
And then in the same presence, I'll say Universal title because of the prestige is what it is. But
they've now converged.
That promo Monday night, man. Cody Rhodes is world title or fucking bust for Cody Rhodes, and I'm all aboard the Cody Rhodes train to get him a world title. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I mean, the only other person that deserves it more is no longer with the company.
Kairi Sane. Anyway, SmackDown Women's Championship.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
so who?
Cesaro.
Okay, I'll put it this way: we've seen it happen a bunch of. Cesaro needs to go somewhere now and do exactly. He just saw what Cody did. He saw what Drew did, but he learned to speak a little bit better. Wait for Vince to die and do your loop back, but you need to do the loop. You need to do the loop like the boys just did and go.
The problem is he's a lot older than everybody else.
So I have a question. If Vince has such an issue with foreign or international speaking people, which has been shown in the past, why is he giving the belt to Sheamus and why is he giving the belt to Balor?
Okay,
they still speak English.
That's one. 2, Sheamus is lifting buddies with Triple H.
Right.
3,
was
Balor had it for one day because he didn't know how to fucking take a bump.
But still, Balor's got a strap on him right now.
Oh, come on.
And where was Balor on this show again?
Hold on, but Cesaro's had multiple U.S. title reigns and tag title reigns, so it's not like they haven't put belts on Cesaro before. In Vince's mind, as per how we've all been perceived throughout the years of different articles, business-wise, how the accent is with certain people, certain accents don't really trend as well as other accents or other looks. And it is a fact that, you know what I mean? That's why killer with him. Like, Cesaro was good to be your mid-card champion. Cesaro was good to go to your places over where he's from, over in Europe and shit like that, to do your faces and your conferences and your fucking interviews. But, like, I don't know anything else Cesaro could have done to change Vince's perception on him. Cesaro did everything.
This is also the same company that strapped Jinder Mahal for 7-8 months to sell an India tour and then promptly took the title off him just before the tour happened. So,
and then when Triple H beats Jinder Mahal over in India, they pop huge because they love it because it's inter-fucking-taining.
Right. I'm not saying it wasn't the case, but I'm just like, what the fuck, you know?
We also got to remember they had like 4 or 5 shows lined up and they canceled all but one.
That's also true. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that. You're to be fair, you're right about that. But it's just like that entire storyline, that entire run was based on that simple tour that kind of fell into the fucking mud. But for Cesaro's sake, the man's just a good wrestler. And to an extent, there is a sense of, the accent's kind of iffy.
Thick.
It's thick. It's thick. But he also gets over on Twitch. So I don't see him ever having a problem in the future. Here's the thing, is that if he retired because he was done with WWE and just did Twitch full time, he'd be just fine. If he just opened up a wrestling school somewhere and did Twitch, he'd be fine. And frankly speaking, that's what Breeze did. Breeze isn't doing anything. He's literally only doing Twitch and running Flatback. And you don't think for a second they don't talk? I'm sure he's in there as guest trainer here, there, and everywhere. They all live down there.
I can't wait for a Departy reunion on G4 TV because there's no reason why it can't happen.
When Woods got hurt, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, well, that's the end of his career. He's just going to leave and that'll be it.
Up, down.
I think that still might be coming, especially now that he's effectively done. I'm pretty sure he's not coming.
Who?
Oh, no way.
Big E.
Big E.
Oh yeah.
I am pretty.
In 2 matches we're about to talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestling. So
never say never.
On Big E.
Yeah, I will happily say never, especially with him. But I think his mindset changed.
Fair.
Thank you.
SmackDown Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair defends against Ronda Rousey. 18 minutes and 30 seconds. Can't give this 3 1/4. Sleazy, you're the women's wrestling enthusiast.
I'm renouncing my women's wrestling enthusiasm. This was
that's a bit harsh.
No, I kid, but holy shit.
It was too long.
It could have been done 5 minutes shorter. It could have had. Yep. I will say this though, and hindsight always being 2020, this became almost a cooler. And it was needed. It was needed. So in that respect,
had that been a 13-minute match, it would have been deadly. It had to be an 18-minute match to be a cooler.
Right, really. I mean, no one gives a shit. And
they were not again, like you said, hindsight 2020, they were not put in a good spot.
No, they weren't. They absolutely weren't. But
and
here's the thing. You could have put that fucking stupid beatdown that happened the next night, which we'll talk about on the next show, right there, and moved their match to night 2. And I think it would have been better received. And it also wouldn't have been as long. These two fucking nights.
Because night 2 ended 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
I had to predict somebody getting hurt though.
That's true, yeah.
But this was the show that went long with someone getting hurt.
Yeah. And getting cut short.
That's my only gripe with this match. It felt like it went on longer than it needed to for some reason. Yeah, that was my only real gripe. Everything else was fine. I'm actually surprised that Charlotte went over. Legit shocked because I just figured it was Rousey going over.
Yep.
So it's fun to see where that's going to go to now come Friday.
Charlotte got her win back.
She did, but she didn't because in true story, Ronda Rousey won that match.
The last time there was a big marquee WrestleMania match that involved Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey won. Charlotte needed to get her win back.
Not WrestleMania.
Yeah.
No.
Becky won that one. She gave Becky 2 belts.
You
right.
fucking shithead.
Yeah, absolutely.
He tried to make this come around thing earlier, and I told him he's an idiot.
I don't give a fuck. You fucking shut the fuck up here. You have no fucking idea.
But he didn't win, therefore Charlotte lost.
Exactly.
Back here.
Exactly.
Even though it had nothing. Yeah. And then their Survivor Series match, didn't Charlotte win by?
No one gives no one gives a single fuck about anything else other than WrestleMania when it comes to Charlotte fucking Flair.
But in the same breath, Ronda didn't win the belt. Becky did.
Doesn't matter. She needed her win back at WrestleMania.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yep. Sleazy's dum-dum.
I don't give a fuck.
Match, Sleazy.
Shit. 4 stars. No, I'm kidding.
That was the Sleazy star rating system.
Right? A star and a half. It was not.
So, again, watching this, I had the ending of the Duke game on this TV over here. I know you can't see it, but it's over here. So I'm up
on a fucking podcast. He just fucking motions off to the left.
Yes, on a video podcast, but or an audio podcast. Jesus Christ! So I'm paying attention to the Duke game and not paying. But every time I looked over to pay attention to this, something looked fucked up. Maybe because it's just like I saw it out of the corner of my eye. And I'm just like, man, this match sucks. This is not good at all. And then Duke lost, and I was just like, fuck this match. Again, went back and rewatched it. It was a good match. I gave it 3 stars. It was a good match.
He was more interested in fucking off to Charlotte's tits.
It had a decent story where Ronda technically did win twice, but then, like Chip said, but, it was a good match.
Hey,
too long.
Classic booking. Face has to get the visual tap out or the visual 3 count with the ref down, clearly sees it before the heel does the screwy finish. Classic booking 101.
All right, so talk about the match then.
I thought I did. It was a little bit.
Yeah, you're wrong. Mm-hmm.
He doesn't even listen to the product.
Nope, I don't listen to the product. I watch the product.
I'm talking directly fucking to him.
Right?
Chip, can you talk about it?
I haven't yet. I just said it went too long. And then I guess with Ronda having those 2 victories in the match, that was set for another match with those 2. But I think Ronda will take the strap off of.
Zero chance of that.
So what's happening?
Yep,
so the KO show happens.
So first off, may I welcome a new Canadian to the main event status of WrestleMania matches?
What was that?
Didn't say anything. I said the KO show happened. You could have said that after I explained it. You Canadian.
Couldn't wait.
You Canadian.
Spoiler. This whole thing has been fucking awesome. It was so good. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, KO comes down. Austin gets a massive pop. Mm-hmm. And then pretty much KO's like, well, I got a bad back, but I'm here for a fight. And that's one thing I didn't really like, though. The whole buildup was, I'm going to come to WrestleMania and beat your ass. And then that's what KO was saying to Austin. So then when he gets here, he's like, you know what? I kind of tricked you. I wanted to fight. You've been saying that for weeks, that you wanted to fight. So I whatever. That was my only small gripe, tiny gripe about it was like, but you were saying that the whole time.
I didn't believe that Austin was bumping his ass up.
Right? Sleazy and I went over under how many bumps is Austin taking.
I said one.
I said like 1. I said 1 too. He's gonna take like a stunner, and from KO, like guaranteed.
He was taking suplexes on the cement. I'm like, what in the fuck?
Like
Jim was like, wow.
At the beginning of that match, when he took that fucking bump into the guardrail, I'm like, oh, that looked bad. That was just. But then he got into it. He was like, fuck this pussyfooting around. I'm gonna fucking start being Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He needed that guardrail bump. Like Foley, when WrestleMania, when Edge smokes him in the face with that fucking frying pan thing, and he turns into like fucking Cactus Jack.
No. I'm talking about how weak the bump was. Like it was he just like barely ran into it and just barely hip checked it. I was just like, oh god, this could be bad.
No, he's old. He hit that barely, and that was a shock. And he went, yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying, though. It kind of woke him up. Like, oh, okay, enough of this shit. I'm really, I can do. Like that's what happened. It was great
when he flat backed on the cement. I'm like, oh my god, and then got right back, and then got up. I'm like, oh, this is great.
So the star rating doesn't really matter with this match.
Yeah, it does. 10 stars.
Fuck you. I mean, I gave it 3, but at the same time, it doesn't matter. It was fucking very entertaining.
Oh, fuck.
It was Austin being Austin, and that's what the fans wanted.
One of the greatest WrestleMania main events ever.
Okay, now you're a fucking mark. But no, it was exact. But
No.
but
I agree with it.
But to be fair, yes,
I agree. Yeah, I was going to say I agree with Ryan.
because it was 100% nostalgia. It was Austin being Austin. It was KO being the shithead fucking heel, getting his ass kicked. It was great.
Okay,
And he got the Stone Cold right there. That's everyone's dream right there.
right.
This feud was built on one man doing work, and that was Owens.
Yep.
And it was, oh my fuck, like,
Who did that with The Rock? Who did that one? Was it Cena? That did that with The Rock?
For a whole year,
yeah, like,
Cena spent a year building up one man show.
and then they did it again the next year.
Yeah.
but
Once
Owens,
in a lifetime again.
night one was fantastic.
Night 1 was fucking great.
It was.
All right, Chip, talk about today.
Oh, what?
Owens Austin.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed every single minute of it. When he started cutting off Owens off, it just reminded me of the old school Stone Cold. The pop he got was great. The time the match took was awesome. Actually, put time into the match and let it build. And then I loved it when he did the classic Kevin Owens and hit the chair on the top rope and whacked himself in the head, and then set himself up for the stunner from Stone Cold.
It was great.
Oh.
It was definitely entertaining.
I want to add fuck Byron Saxton because he screwed me out of points on my pool for putting his dumb ass in the ring and getting stunnered again.
How many stunners were going to happen?
Yeah, I know, over under a 3.5.
I love Corey Graves. Corey Graves, I've been waiting 5 years for this shit.
Sleaze and I had over under how many beers were shown being thrown.
Oh, we did a drinking game to every beer that was opened.
So night 1, there was
Also,
28
and the best thing
beers.
about that is, Chip, you were drinking early then because Austin was gone mad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I was drinking 10%ers.
So the over under on night 1 was 20. I put 8 because I just thought it'd be a segment.
I put
think
7.
7. It was 28 beers in night 1.
Oh my god.
Now keep in mind, because of what we did, it had to be the entire show. Which, spoiler, he came back out and fucked everybody's total up.
In my defense, I watched it all in one day.
Yeah, fuck you. There's my answer. Fuck that shit.
Well, technically,
I'm saying I drank with both segments.
Sleazy, do you have anything to add?
Nothing other than I was shocked that it turned into a match. I was shocked it went as long as it did, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was shocked at how good it was, and was pleasantly surprised that it turned into an actual match.
Yep.
I thought everything about me thought it was going to happen the way what happened on night 2. He'd come down, stunner, fuck around, beer bash, pull somebody in, stunner them. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow.
What I thought was going to happen is kind of that was like they're going to talk a little bit. Austin's going to get pissed. They're going to brawl with each other. Maybe Austin, takes like a table bump, but like face into the table, face into the steps or something, and then stunner, beer bash, whatever.
I didn't even think that much. I literally only thought it was going to be an Austin shine and call it a night.
So I'm thinking that's what they were kind of planning on doing. And then Austin's like, well, we're going to do that. Might as well just have a fucking match.
I don't know. I mean, they probably did it the next night, so.
I mean, odds are this was Steve Austin's last match. He probably wanted to have it in Dallas. And under the big light, under the big top is how to do it.
That's it for night 1.
So Ryan, can you put something over?
Keep looking for me being a Fed show on Reddit.
Awesome. What's your name on Reddit, by the way? I'm not sure.
Ryan Buckgotch.
Ryan Buckgotch. Well, if you go to the r/the wrestling show, he is actually a mod there, so you can shoot the shit with him and me. I'm on there a lot. So absolutely check it out. Chip, put yourself over.
All right. Follow the Best Darn Sports Show Period 2 on Spotify with me and the Fat Man. And you can find me on Twitter at the Sports Guru 728. Also, since I've been doing a lot of prep work lately for banquets and all that, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts myself. Definitely give it a listen to Busted Open with Bully Ray and also the Pat McAfee.
Those are not sponsors of the show, sir.
They do not pay for sponsorship, but I'll leave them in there because only this time. I'm at TWS Sleazy.
TWS Fat Man.
And the show is at Sleazy Fat Man on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find, once again, our Reddit at r/the wrestling show. You can find us on TikTok at the wrestling show. You can find our show as well as every other show. By the way, we are officially the only wrestling related podcast on the Gear Network. So if you are looking for other things other than like music, sports, all that kind of stuff, check out everyone at Gear Network, GERE network.com. You can find our show when it comes out every Saturday morning at 8 a.m., wherever you get your wonderful podcast. We'll be live June 11th at the podcast precinct in Tonawanda, New York for the wrestling video game night. Am I missing any other plugs? I can't even.
We'll be live in Providence, Rhode Island at Wrestlemania Backlash.
Yeah, fuck that show. No one's going to see that. Everyone's going to see us in June 11. No one's going to see us at Backlash. That's for damn fucking sure. So with thanks to Chip, thanks to Ryan, and as always, for Sleazy.
For the Fat Man.
This is The Wrestling Show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Peace.
Fuck Kenny Omega. Fuck Dave Meltzer. A hot dog's on a sandwich. Oh, God. We're talking about 19 when I take these pills.
I'm a truth that you seem to run from. I'm an army of one. I'm a clip in your gun. I'm the pain in the game, the blood shedding your name. When there's nothing to gain, all the world gonna say.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.